basically, if you look into the big picture, so there are a lot of things we can do. There are a lot of things actually we can do. We got it from this part. And then this topic, the topic number 3, focus on energy efficiency. Okay, the subject that we learn is actually on the energy efficiency. So you can see the first two as the base, the premise, the basic reason of why we need to go for energy efficiency. Okay, why we need to go for energy efficiency. And then, as you will find later, we'll discuss three part. The first part is really philosophical, and I find out reading the books, the chapter is quite consuming. It's not easy. So we'll try to find out why. Okay, why government or governing bodies need to set the games. Okay, so they need to do an intervention. Okay, so number two is what sector. Okay, okay, we will go for about what will be the impact of the energy efficiency and what sector we can implement the energy efficiency. And number 3 is just a formality of how do we manage the energy efficiency. In every outline, I give you like what reference, and then this reference is actually the one how I will name it, how I will name the document, and then I will upload it in Canvas later on. So if you are a scientist, okay, you should believe that the world will eventually, the unit end when you look into this diagram. So if we make a Venn diagram, simplify about relationship between economic system, anthropological activities, and the environment, okay, we can have it as this model. Okay, we can set the environment as the universe. This is the things, the environments. And then in thermodynamics we have this as a system. So what happened is that we take energy from the environment, can be from, for example, fossil fuel and so on. We get an air from the environment, raw materials from the environment. We get utilities like water from the environment, amenities from the environment. That's acting as an input. Okay, we consume it, household consumption. We consume it in a form of energy. Okay, and then we get some benefit out of it. Is an output. Some of this output can be recycling and so on. So this is an easy representation of what happened in our daily life. Okay, as the excess of these activities, okay, what happened is that we polluting our air, we are polluting our land, we are excreting heat to the environment. Here, the environment become the heat sink. Remember that most of the energy when you convert from one stage to another stage, heat loss, energy loss is in a form of heat dissipation. Okay, then we also polluting the water. So over time, okay, the ability of our environment to provide this will be depleted. While also this one is getting bigger exponentially. Why? Because there are more people living on Earth. That's the things. The other thing is that most of us, okay, we take more than what we need. I mean, the greed of the human being. Okay, so our this is very quite philosophical. I don't want to go too long. So the first law of thermodynamics applied in the system. We have the second law of thermodynamics. This is basically heat dissipation. First law of thermodynamics is that all of the things will, so we cannot, okay, the capacity to give energy is there. So the total reserve of the fossil fuel, we have a value. It's not increasing. So it cannot come from nowhere. Okay. So that's first law of thermodynamics. We have a limited amount of water, you have a limited amount of raw materials. We cannot create the matter. We cannot create the material. So we just satisfy with what you have. Also the amenities. Okay. And then if over time, we are talking about magnitude of thousands years, probably, the cycle continues, then the capacity of the environment to support economic system will be depleted. Okay. And it will be worsened by the greed of the human being and the increasing number of population. So whether you are Muslim, whether you are Christian, whether you are disbeliever of God or any religion, you have to agree that this will end. At one point, that will end. Okay. This is from what to say, system point of view. System point of view. The problem, okay, the problem will be when you look into the component of the system. So now, International Energy Agency will tell, for example, Brunei, for example, Brunei. So let's everyone, for example, do something on it. Let's do mitigation like we discussed last time. Let's do mitigation. The thing is that, so for example, you say that, okay, you said let's reduce the consumption of coal. Indonesia, your producer, for example, we tell Indonesia, your country, a producer of coal. Let's stop mining the coal. It's polluting the environment. Say someone from, I don't know, someone from Europe, for example, and in Europe tell Saudi Arabia and Brunei, it's time for you to stop exploiting your oil. Okay, so you are Indonesian and you say that, why I have to listen to you? This is my country. This is my coal. I have all right to mine it. So all right. So all right. But the thing is, we are in when we are in this ecosystem, in this system, we can develop the border between nations, but the air is the same. Okay, the climate is global. The impact is global. So by looking into okay, this called as externality. So it's things that you do always impact others. Okay, things that you do always impact others. Okay, so if you look into previous lecture, it's always said that it has to be in a cooperation. But who want to cooperate? For example, now European tell the developing countries to stop, for example, exploiting forests, while they have been polluting the universe 300-400 earlier. Okay, and they say that it is our mistake that the forests in Borneo have been vanished, have been changed to something else, have been used for residents, and they don't like it. But people from Indonesia or Malaysia, for example, we are now under political pressure, for example, Indonesia and Malaysia, because they accuse Indonesia and Malaysia of not preserving the natural forest due to the palm oil industry. For example. So the relation between stakeholders in this ecosystem become complicated. And the next part of the topic, we'll try to understand this relationship in terms of economic standpoint. Yeah, economic standpoint. So the next 3-4 slides is really about free market economy. So I hope I can explain better to you. So first, we are looking into the perfect competition. So what is perfect competition? Okay, I go back. The reason why we use this approach is because of nobody want to be under anybody in pursuit to take action on the climate, on the impact, on the impact of overconsumption of fossil fuel, because everyone has right. It's very difficult. I cannot imagine how they do it, how they negotiate in the United Nations about that. So it's very tough, and everyone at different stage of development. Of course, developed countries have been consuming much more fossil fuel. They started earlier, they consume more, and then they are telling us to stop doing that. So it doesn't make sense. So there's no such kind of diplomacy. So the approach to understand the situation, we'll use this economic approach.